Oh my god, this place is a mess. Handheld video game systems. Small. They have to be. So you can fit them in your hand. You know, you can pocket them, throw them in a bag. They fit nicely. It's a good idea for them to be small. In fact, usually the first time isn't even small enough. They'll get redesigned to be even smaller. And this is all in the pursuit of fitting into someone's hand, into someone's bag, as well as possible. Tragically, there's nowhere to go after the Game Boy Color. They pretty much got it perfect. Oh no, the backplate. Click in. There you go. But they keep pushing anyway. You know, sometimes things can get a little too small. And people don't always like that. Whenever things are small, companies can go, oh, they could be smaller. This could be more compact. It could fit literally anywhere you want. Say you have a perfectly serviceable iPod here. Could be smaller. Maybe being small isn't the best. Maybe one company thought differently. This is the Sony PSP. It's pretty great. It runs on discs for some reason. It's large, at least compared to other systems at the time. That Game Boy Micro that I showed a moment ago, it's the size of its screen, but it still fits well in the hand. This isn't what I'm talking about. Yeah. Just get that up there. This is the Sega Game Gear. It's huge. it's really big. That PSP, this is the largest model of PSP. It's the PSP 1000 from 2005. This from 1990. Yeah, it's large. It looks really ungainly. It actually doesn't feel that bad in the hand, despite the fact that it looks about as nice to hold as a brick. It's, you know, fairly nice. Your thumbs rest right where they'd need to be. It's pretty good. Even its cartridges are big, though. This system was in competition with the original Game Boy. And they're not amazingly dissimilar size-wise, but it's all in how you hold it. The Game Boy has a section where you hold and a section where you play. And that way it sort of bisects it, making it seem that much more compact. Game Gear, however, just everything is a dish. That's why I compared it to the PSP. It's just long game system. There's a link cable port, there's headphones, better than the phone I'm using to record this. There's a brightness dial, which is actually a contrast thing. There's a volume wheel, and thankfully, there is a power jack, because, let's get the one cover I have off, 6 AA batteries to power this guy. Want to guess how long they take to wear down? That's right, 3 hours. You are going to get nowhere and basically bankrupt yourself off batteries. The Game Boy sold really well. It was the handheld in the early 90s, but it had a couple problems. For one, no backlight. It's not really that big a deal. There's a contrast dial, which lets you see it in a lot of lighting conditions, but you're still going to want a light on it. It's not a deal breaker. Some people make it out to be a really big deal. Maybe it's my youthful eyes, but, you know, I'm chill with it. If you want to play this, go outside, have some fun. It's a portable system. Be portable with it. The second problem was no color. It's black and green. They did this because it was cheap. I hope it was really cheap because they need to justify this. Yeah, look at that. Look at my damaged screen. I got this for cheap. The Game Gear was pretty cool. They had a bunch of accessories for it that would plug in through the cartridge slot. Like, you could have a game in there, but they could have a TV tuner, which doesn't work anymore since TV switched from analog to digital signals in 2009. So I am, 16 years late to try it out. I just missed it. I'm so sorry. If it was, before 2009, though, you could do that. You could tune into the airwaves. You could watch your shows. You have a dish-style D-pad. I like dish D-pads. I know some people don't. I do. And you have 1 and 2 buttons instead of A and B, which, I guess doesn't really make that much of a difference. At the same time, I feel like, there shouldn't be 1 and 2 buttons. I'm not here to count, I'm here to letter. But at the same time, it makes me think, well, why A and B? They sort of mean the same thing. This released after the Genesis, which had A, B, and C. So why would it keep the Master Systems 1 and 2, but not... I don't know, it's confusing. Let's get started with seeing the difference, if Sega really does what Nintendo don't. Oh no, they really do what Nintendo don't. There we go. Let's see if I can get that a little more visible. There we are. I'm pretty sure this... Okay, you're very loud. I'm pretty sure the contrast wheel here actually just moves the polarizer, because this is a passive matrix. I think it's front-lit LCD panel. It looks pretty terrible in person, but, it's good enough to get by. It's 8-bit games. This hardware shares pretty much everything in common with the Sega Genesis's predecessor, the Master System. So it's a little more powerful than, like, an NES, but not that much more powerful. So you don't need the best screen in the world to see these games. Like, you can see here, the game is visible enough. It's not amazingly visible to me because I am playing it through the viewfinder of my phone, as opposed to looking at the screen, because for me, that screen is just entirely white. Oh, go back to the minecart. Anyway, great fun, this system. You can play 8-bit Sonic 2. This version of Sonic 2 actually came out before the Genesis one, so, this is Tails' first appearance. It's implied that he's dead in this game, if you don't get the good ending with the Chaos Emeralds. Good stuff. It's visible outside because it's passive matrix. If you get a light on it, like this one, you'll still be able to see the panel. And that's how the light works as well. You can see it. It does have terrible viewing angles. The colors will distort if you're not looking at it head on, but it didn't need that. Sega already had it positioned as the handheld for people who were serious about video games. Oh no, my light. That's okay. I have this one. There we go. Yeah, now I have dramatic lighting. Ooh. The Game Boy wasn't very powerful. Like, really not very powerful. This is more powerful than an NES. This is less powerful than an NES. Oh, my light's back. This is the best day ever. The best-selling game for this system was Sonic 2, which, you know, makes sense. It sold quite a lot, and I think was bundled in with some versions of the system. Come on, Tails. There we are. I really don't want to play Underground Zone. I hate Underground Zone. Let's play Green Hills. The music in this level is kind of fun. It is, it's an 8-bit version of You Can Do Anything from the Japanese version of Sonic CD. I don't know why it's in here. This game predates Sonic CD by like a year and a half. So it's just, you know, sort of in there for funsies. I'm not complaining, because it's fun, and it's a good arrangement. Get the rings. There we go. The physics in this version of Sonic 2 are quite different from anything on Genesis. Like, that little lip there, if I'm rolling, it'll completely launch me. Loop-de-loops are different. They're automated. Okay, goodbye, light. Completely automated. Well, now you can see how amazing the screen is. Yeah, look at those viewing angles. Oh, it's a little terrible, but it's also a 35-year-old system. LCD technology has come a long way since then. And it's not like this looks terrible. Like, I don't want to completely whine about it. Save me, iframes. Hello again, light. I've missed you. There's no spin dash in this. This predates Genesis Sonic 2 and the spin dash. So you just gotta get some momentum up. Yay! I beat the level. Too bad Sega didn't beat Nintendo. That huge size and the reason I have it plugged in, that, you know, wasn't to their benefit. Nobody is going to be able to fit this in their pocket unless you have like Jinko jeans or something with those gigantic pockets that go halfway down your leg. The Game Boy took 4 AA's. I think these were in the system when I bought it a year ago. The Game Boy lasted forever. The Game Gear lasted 3 hours. The difference in how much money you were going to have to spend alienated a lot of people from the Game Gear, and it was a middling success. It did fairly well for a handheld system in the 90s, but not well enough. Where Nintendo would go on to make the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, and then a bunch of handhelds later with the DS line, Sega wouldn't. They redesigned the Game Gear once, and then sort of gave up. They put a lot of their games out on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, which was by SNK, the makers of Metal Slug and the MVS arcade system. The Neo Geo Pocket is pretty great. It is small. It has a joystick for some reason. It comes in a few cool colors. This didn't really have much in the way of alternate colors. If you find a Game Gear, it's either going to look like this, or it's going to be white, or it's going to say Coca-Cola. There were some Coca-Cola versions. I'm a Pepsi person, though, so, you know, I'll stick to the standard. But, yeah, Sega really does what Nintendo don't. They failed.